is this too good to be true? Do you need to, can you go out there and just get a guy and coach him up to be able to be a premier talent?
I mean, I wrote a story recently just kind of showing that most teams don't have more than 2 good offensive linemen. So it's a league-wide trend. It's something that's happening in college. They don't play offense the way they used to. They don't develop those guys. Just kind of the way offenses are. Like, offensive linemen show up and they're bad now. And then they get to the NFL and you can't practice and there's no contact really, even in the practices with contact. Like, you aren't actually blocking a real live bull rush. Like, so there is not a lot of player development going on the way it used to. So just quality of offensive line play overall has deteriorated a little bit. I'll say one thing about those Broncos teams. I think they could get away with having even less talent back then because the scheme was new. Like, you were catching the league by storm. People have kind of adjusted to it a little bit. So I think the quality of player is needed to go up a little bit. But there is no doubt. And the 49ers were one of the teams that I pointed out in that article. Like, they got like a really good left tackle, and then the rest of their line is pretty mid. Like, there isn't a lot of good players on it. But that scheme does hide it. It does allow you to kind of hide a lot of things. If you go to and isolate play action plays out and just straight drop back passes, the 49ers were getting rid of the ball, and Miami was getting rid of the ball in under 2 seconds on every other play last year. So, like, their plays over 2 seconds where they were actually dropping back on average were typically play action plays, and now that puts your quarterback in an advantageous situation, puts your offensive line in a situation where you're taking pressure off the pass rush and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, this offense definitely can hide it a little bit. I don't know that everybody can get away with it the same way. The Texans kind of had a shaky offensive line running the same system last year. But maybe, the development and coaching kind of gets those players up a little bit. The Saints coaches have a huge task at hand here. Like, they need to coach up some guys to play at that level. But there's, the evidence is the evidence. Like, it's not a source of opinion. Like, this has worked for the 49ers. They replaced their good right tackle with somebody that was a mid-round pick. Like, it's just something that has factually happened, and they've been fine with it. And they have gotten away with kind of investing more elsewhere. And if you can do that and make it work, great. I don't know that it's a carbon copy approach for everybody else, but it has worked for them.